The internet computer just dropped an economic bombshell, and if you hold ICP or care about its future, you cannot afford to ignore what's inside this document. We're talking about a deliberate, aggressive plan to choke off its own token supply, targeting a reduction in new ICP creation by a massive 70% in under 2 years. This isn't just an update, it's a fundamental reboot of the entire economic engine, and the implications for price, for staking, and for the network's survival are monumental. If you're invested, this white paper, dubbed Mission 70, is arguably the single most critical piece of news you'll get this year. We're moving far beyond minor parameter tweaks. We're talking about a wholesale revolution in how rewards are earned, how the network is secure, and how real-world demand is forced to become the core driver of value. I've dissected all 19 pages, so you don't have to. And what I've found is a blend of brutal cuts, smart incentives, and one massive, ambitious bet on the future. This content is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice or endorse any investment or cryptocurrency. Information is based on publicly available sources. Always do your own research before making any financial decisions. Let's start with the stark reality of the goal itself. Mission 70 is the official no-turning-back proposal to slash the annual minting of new ICP tokens by a staggering 70% before 2027 arrives. The plan executes a pincer movement. One arm ruthlessly tightens the supply side by changing staking and node provider economics. The other arm is a growth engine designed to supercharge demand and burn tokens at an unprecedented rate. This is high-stakes economic engineering. Now here's the first seismic shift that will impact every single person who has tokens locked up. The very concept of long-term staking is being redefined. Forget the 8-year maximum dissolve delay you're used to. Under Mission 70, that gets slashed all the way down to just 2 years. Every existing neuron will be migrated to this new, much shorter maximum timeline. If your strategy was built around an ultra-long lockup, your world just changed. But before you react, understand the trade-off and the recognition being offered. For the OGs, the true believers who have maintained that maximum 8-year commitment, the protocol isn't leaving you empty-handed. Your neuron will receive a special flag, granting you an exclusive 10% boost on your rewards, a bonus that remains locked in until the year 2030. It's a direct reward for your historical conviction. The crucial catch: it behaves like your age bonus. The moment you begin dissolving your neuron, you forfeit this special status, and the extra rewards vanish. It's a powerful incentive to stay the course. But before we plunge into the details, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. For our returning community, your ongoing support is what makes this deep analysis possible. Dropping a like on this video directly fuels the channel's growth and ensures we can continue delivering this level of researched content. Your engagement is the foundation of everything we do here about ICP. So why tear down the 8-year structure? The philosophy is clear. To grow, the network needs to be more accessible and its rewards more intelligently distributed. The current 6-month minimum to even participate in governance is a high barrier. That plummets to a mere 2 weeks, inviting far more casual participation. Yet for true commitment, the rewards are being concentrated. The bonus multiplier for locking for the full 2 years actually increases, creating a steeper, more convex reward curve. The projected yield for a 2-year neuron settles around 7% APY. The message? Lower your time risk, accept a competitive but lower yield, or commit fully for a proportionally greater slice of the pie. But one of the most underrated and critical changes is a silent killer of future inflation. Currently, the voting reward rate is scheduled to flatline at 5% per year. Here's the hidden problem. A fixed percentage of an ever-growing total supply means the absolute number of new tokens minted forever increases, creating perpetual inflationary pressure. Mission 70 installs a hard stop. It proposes capping the total daily pool of voting rewards at a fixed amount. This cap becomes a governance lever for the future, but crucially, it will not automatically inflate alongside the total supply. This is a foundational, long-term safeguard that most people will miss on the first read. Now, let's talk about the other pillar of supply: the node providers, the entities running the physical hardware. This is where the plan gets its most controversial. The white paper presents a stark analysis. A significant portion of older Generation 1 node hardware is sitting idle or underutilized, yet remains highly profitable due to generous rewards. The proposal is to cut rewards for these nodes by up to 40%, arguing that even after this reduction, operations should remain in the green. The goal is economic efficiency, to push this legacy capacity toward more productive uses like the new cloud engines, or to phase it out entirely. Combined with technical proposals to make subnets more efficient, this could reduce node provider-driven inflation by nearly half. The billion-dollar question, of course, is how these vital network participants will respond. Will they adapt, or will they exit? All right, let's be clear. These supply-side measures are powerful, but on their own, they only achieve about a 44% reduction in inflation. That's impressive, but it's not the promised 70%. So, where does the other half come from? This is where Mission 70 makes its boldest bet on utility. The missing piece is a demand explosion driven by two key innovations: cloud engines and the caffeine execution environment. Imagine cloud engines as turnkey, enterprise-ready private subnets. Node provider associations could essentially become cloud providers themselves, selling dedicated internet computer capacity directly to businesses. Here's the economic magic baked into this model. It is inherently and automatically deflationary. The revenue split sends 80% to the node providers for their service and mandates that a full 20% is used to continuously buy ICP from the open market and burn it forever. They are aiming this directly at the trillion-dollar cloud computing sector. To hit their targets, the network's rate of burning computational cycles, and thus tokens, needs to scale up by a factor of 15. Is that realistic? The white paper notes that during peaks of activity in 2025, the network briefly touched these burn rates. The bet is that cloud engines can turn those peaks into a permanent rising baseline. This is the high-risk, high-reward heart of the mission. This isn't a tweak. It's a complete economic reset, betting the future on massive real-world adoption. So, let's tie the final numbers together. From the projected 2026 starting point, the combined staking and node provider cuts can drive a 44% reduction in new token minting. To bridge the gap to the full 70%, the network is relying on its demand-side engines to fire on all cylinders. The takeaway is undeniable. The project is deploying every tool available. It's installing permanent structural brakes on supply while pouring fuel on the utility engine, attempting to force a fundamental shift from inflationary to sustainable and potentially deflationary economics. Now that you've seen the full scope, the staking overhaul, the provider cuts, and the high-stakes bet on enterprise demand, the decision lands with you, the community. This will go to a vote. Are you convinced? Do you believe this aggressive, two-pronged strategy is the right path to a stronger, scarcer ICP? Drop your verdict in the comments below. Is it a yes or a no on Mission 70? If you find this deep dive into the future of decentralized technology valuable, support this channel. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.